Hey, James Eagleman at Barber Creek Long Range Shooting School. We are going to talk about the new Eagleman Long Range Hunting reticle that's inside this tract, and I'm going to explain it in detail so you guys get a full function of it. First and foremost, for you guys that love lit reticles, this one lights up. You can see it's bright red. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn it off so we can talk a little bit more. So this reticle has arrows left and right, and those arrows are to remind you which way to push. If the wind's coming from the left, you're going to push into the wind. If the wind's coming from the right, the arrows are going to say, hey, push to the right. On top are half-minute mark. If I was going to hold, or if the wind was coming from the right, my solver would say, go ahead and push right 6.5 minutes. So I'm going to look at the Gims book, and I'm going to push right 6.5 minutes. That was super fast. And all of a sudden the wind changes. So now the wind's coming from the left. The arrow says, okay, if the wind's coming from the left, push left. And now I'm holding left or pushing left 13 minutes. And the reason we did that is most rifle scopes out there have maybe 10 and 20 marks, or actual physical numbers. And then you got to sit there and count each hash mark and figure out where 6.5 or 12 minutes is. That's too much work. It takes too much time, especially when hunting. Look, animals aren't targets. They ain't going to sit still and wait for you to figure out what your wind hold is. This thing is extremely fast. The other thing about this reticle is in the bottom and in the top, there's a certain area, like if I look between 15 and 20 minutes, there's half-minute marks. What's that for? If you're using an app like the Eagle Ballistics app, I'm gonna go ahead and type in, we know that Gims buck's 822 yards. Let's say that I'm a trophy hunter and I wanna measure that animal to make sure I wanna shoot it. That's what that's for. I'm gonna look at the base of the skull to the top of that horn on that Gims buck, and I'm measuring it right now, and it's in half-minute increments, so it makes it much more accurate. And from the top to the top of the horn, I've got 1, 2, 3, 3.5 minutes tall. Plug it in my solver, 3.5 minutes tall. It says that Gims buck has a horn that is 30.13 inches tall. I can now make a cognitive decision, do I want to add that to my trophy room? And my app, Eagle Ballistics, and the combination of that reticle allowed me to physically measure that animal to make sure I want to harvest it. Talk about a cool reticle. So again, Eagleman Long Range Hunting reticle and a tract toric, phenomenal scope, love it, and can't wait to get this out to you guys.